guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia and you're watching Domestic Diva DIY. Today I'm going to be creating two very budget friendly DIYs using my Cricut machine. Now I have, for the first one, already cut out this design. I had went on my Cricut design space, and out of my Cricut Access I had picked out the deer head. I flipped it so it's facing that way, and then I cut it out. This cardboard comes from the back of one of those tabletop desktop calendars from my old one, and I have saved it. I was actually using it to spray paint some stuff on the other side, but it was time to use it for some crafting. So I had cut out the deer head. Now I'm going to use the deer head for a different project. And then I also have a back of an old picture frame, and I cut this cardboard to fit the back of the picture frame. So that's gonna go over here like that. But before, if you saw my projects last week, I have used some of this bag. I will be using it again, and I will be placing it at on here with some hot glue and Mod Podge. And then for framing, I will be using some of these garden stakes that I got through the summer, and I have some of them left over still. I'm not going to be staining them, I'm going to use them as they are. First thing that I'm going to do before I do anything is I'm going to give this guy a very light coat of white acrylic paint. I'm going to use this type of brush, not a sponge brush, because I find it'll just give me the more of a texture that I'm looking for. And I'm just taking some of the paint off and just brushing it lightly. If you are stopping by my channel for the very first time, welcome. Like I said before, my name is Sonia, and on this channel I do DIY, budget-friendly DIYs using mostly materials from dollar store. I do live in Canada, so a lot of the material will come from Dollarama as well as the Dollar Tree. Our Dollar Trees tend not to be as good as the US ones, but we still find some stuff that we can use for sure. And I also want to mention that if you want to see how I use these DIYs in my home decor, make sure you head on over to my home channel, which will be linked down below, where I share home decorating tips and ideas as well as cleaning. And besides those channels, I also have a cooking channel, and soon I will be sharing lots of different ideas for the upcoming holidays. So that's exactly how I wanted it to look. I wanted some of that cardboard to show through. So I'm going to let that dry, and while that's drying, I am going to take this bag, but first I'm just going to cut off some stuff off of it, and I will definitely be using that for more projects, because I don't like to do too much of wasting, especially when items are pretty hard to come by, like these bags. And it doesn't need to fit perfectly on there, because I'm gonna be taping the other stuff to the other side, covering it up. I'm actually not gonna use the Mod Podge. I'm just gonna go ahead with some hot glue. It should be okay. Shouldn't melt it, but I hope. If it does, then I'll have to move on to my other bag. It's actually pretty good. Okay, so that's pretty good. And now I'm going to cover it up with this on top. Decorated in town, among all the tinsel and lights, I'm strolling around, just wondering where. There we go. And now I'm going to measure out my little pieces and see where they will go. So I'm going to put this one here. Just gonna mark it off where it needs to be cut. And then I'm going to cut so these two are gonna go on the top. Or on the bottom. Just the next ones are going to be shorter, and I'm just going to sand the edges a little bit. Or clean them up, I should say. Just wondering where you have gone to. Are you just around the corner or in Kathmandu? And whether or not you're with somebody new, still I wish you the merriest Christmas. I hope it will be. There we go. For my next project, I had picked up a box from Dollarama, and this is a lid, and I am using this little gingerbread man that I had in my stash of just leftover crafts. I'm not quite sure where it came from. I do think it came from a craft kit from Dollarama, but I'm not quite sure of it. You can always buy these at Michael's or even at Dollar Tree, I think, or you can just cut one out yourself out of craft foam. And then I have a cutout. I don't know if you can see right here. I used my Cricut, and this image was from the Cricut Access, and I'm going to transfer it onto here. I don't think I'm going to use the whole image. I think I'm going to leave out the gingerbread and use that for a different project. I am going to be using the transfer tape from Dollar Tree to try it out. I have not tried this method yet. And then I'm going to use some of the white paint to paint everything on, and then some hot glue. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to paint the inside of this box with the acrylic paint. You can trust that to be true. Yeah. I'm actually going to use a sponge paint for this one. I think it just does a bit better job for this particular DIY.
The ground up, a beautiful wife, 2 kids, and a dog pup. Still sometimes I wonder if you're near or off yonder, though I couldn't tell you why. But wherever.
Just a little crafting tip: if you end up using this and you have lack of space in your decor storage, you can do a different DIY on the back, like for a different season or something, and then you can kind of utilize the other side, which is perfectly fine and usable. Just a little pro tip, because I make a lot of DIYs and sometimes it gets expensive to buy all the supplies, even if you're buying them from a dollar store, and it also takes up so much space in your house, so it's good to kind of make it a multi-purpose sign. So I'm going to let this dry, and then when it's dry I'm going to finish it off. Okay, so while that's drying, I am going to get this all sorted out.
Near or far, outside my door or in some airport bar, I still wish you the merriest Christmas. I hope it will be all that you dream. I have nothing but love for you. You can trust that to be true. Yeah, I wish you the merriest Christmas of all.
So I am going to place it right here.
Girl, I wish you the merriest Christmas. I hope it will be all that you dream. I have nothing but love for you.
So here it is. And now over here, I'm going to put my little gingerbread man. I'm just going to cut off these little things right there. There we go.
I hope it will be all that you dream. I have nothing but love.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and if this is your first time stopping by my channel, I would love it if you considered subscribing, pressing that notification bell so you don't miss out any of my future uploads. And until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you all so much for watching.